Hi everyone, my name's Kathy. Welcome to Skint Living UK. This is my Father's Day special. To have a disclaimer at the beginning, this is my own point of view of my experiences. It's not other people's experiences, it's not something I've read or heard, it's what I've experienced myself. So please don't come in the comments and go, women don't say that, women don't think that. This is my own personal point of view and my own experiences. So today I want to talk about the 5 harsh and hard lessons I learned in my life as a single mum. If you're planning on having children, even if it's just a one and done situation, make sure as a woman you have enough money to bring that child up yourself, because as young people say today, a man's not a plan, because he can just change his mind at any time. Statistics have proven that a lot of men, not all men before you go on, switch things up when a woman's pregnant. They get resentful, jealous, can get angry, can get stroppy, sulk, because their attention's not focused on them anymore. Because you're feeling sick, tired, don't function as well as you usually do. You might be absent-minded, feeling ick, and you're not running around after them. Because even in this so-called enlightened age, there's still men out there who think that women are their servants. And if the service is lacking, they are not a happy bunny. So if you can't afford to bring that child up on your own, it's not necessarily a good thing to do, because you're just going to be bringing that child up in poverty, stress, anxiety, and creating all kinds of problems, because you can't rely on anybody. And I'm not saying particularly men, you can't rely on anybody, and someone might be not coming to rescue you, knocking down your door and go, oh yeah, there's a gazillion pounds, there's the solution to your issue. It's not going to happen. He may decide to not contribute in any way financially, even if he's with you or not. B, he may decide not to do any parenting, because some fathers, for some reason, don't think parenting is a male thing to do. They just think being there. As I've seen the other week, someone said, and I thought it was a great phrase, furniture with eyes. They're there, in body, but that's it. So your partner might be going, oh, let's have a baby, I really want a baby. But often men talk about legacy, extending the name, keeping the family name going, but often they don't want to perform any sort of parenting duties. Not all dads are like that. There's some lovely dads out there. My friend, her dad was lovely. He was more parenty than a mum. He was lovely. But some men don't. Some men do a slimy trick, what I called performative parenting, when they are seen to be a parent. So like when his mum used to come visit, he played the role of the doting father, had her on his knee and all that nice dad. As soon as the mum went, get lost. Or on the rare occasions he came to the park, he would play again the doting father, kid on the shoulders, pushing the pram. Rest of the time he wouldn't dream of it, because they have to play to the audience, don't they? Look at me, look what I've achieved, even though they've had very little to do with all the process. Not all dads. So if you're planning on having children, you've got to be prepared to do it all, because your partner may not want to do it, be reluctant to do it, or if you keep asking them to do it, it will get on your nerves, and they're probably hoping that you won't ask anymore because they don't want to do it. That's the sad reality of being a mum. Unfortunately, that's the experience I've had, and other women have told me they've had the same experience too. and this has gone on for a long time. He may decide to leave, might be when you're pregnant, because he can't deal with you not running around after him and the world doesn't revolve around them anymore. He may be off cheating because he can't get what he wants anymore or less of it. Or it might be just a case of the green-eyed monster is jealous of the baby. Or you might just leave because you think the grass is green, it's going to be quieter, it's not going to be less hassle, and have his peace. When he does leave, he may refuse to pay a penny, and you could be going years backwards and forward to court. It could take you a long time, a lot of money, a lot of stress and anxiety to get anything out of them, because some men don't think they should pay. Number 2, the CSA, or now they call it the Child Maintenance Service in the UK, are virtually useless. Only about 45% of single parents, 45%, get any money, and that is often a very low level of money. My ex, for example, took him years to pay the CSA, then, as it was called, took him to court and we're going to put a charge order on his house, then all of a sudden he could pay. But he was down as self-employed. He packed in teaching and said he was self-employed, and he run card clubs and bridge, and he said he didn't make much money out of it, and we were getting about £21 a month when we should start getting payments for years. £21. He never asked to see his son, didn't visit, no birthday cards, no Christmas cards, no presents, no gifts, no clothes, nothing. And he literally lived a few miles down the road. Just because they're all nice and sunshine and loving and great at first, it doesn't mean he will stay that way. This is my personal point of view and what happened to me. It doesn't mean it will happen to you, but there's always a possibility it will happen to you. Number 3, the costs of a baby are really expensive. Let me say that again, really expensive. When they're little, all you spend your money on is 2 main things: nappies and milk. Those tins of formula have security tags on them for a reason, because they're unbelievably expensive. And you may think, well, £15 not bad, but if you're using 2 a week, that is 30 quid. Couple of bags of nappies, you got there's well over 100 quid before you've even done anything. So just be aware of that little babies poo and piddle a lot. It's going to cost you a fortune, and they drink expensive milk. Number 4, childcare. Childcare is so expensive, no matter where you are in the world. Punitively expensive. My childminder had a little course that she did and was making a ton of money, and I was a qualified teacher with 2 degrees and a teaching qualification. Still paying loads of student loans, worked me bum off. Easy 60, 70, 80 hours a week, as she was still making more money than me. Childcare is really, really expensive. I really want to hammer that home. And if you've got a lovely friend or family member who's willing to babysit for you, it will change your relationship. It will change the power dynamic between you, either unintentionally or intentionally. As in my mum's case, she felt that I should be beholden to her because she was doing some babysitting. So in the end, I paid a childminder because I got sick of her moaning. I got sick of her thinking I had to kiss her face. I got sick of her just generally going on about her. And basically, she was childminding in my house, and she was always going through me stuff, moving stuff, messing about with stuff, and saying, moaning at me, the kids had too much toys, the kids had too much that. There was always criticisms. So it just wasn't worth the grief. So I just think it changes relationships with people. So it's I think it's simpler to pay somebody. Number 5. You may think once they're in school, that's a bit of pressure off because you're not paying full-time care. But there's breakfast club, there's after-school club. They might have hobbies. My lads used to go to martial arts, cost me a fortune. And then there's actual cost of going to school. There's uniform, socks, shoes, underwear, coat, bag, PE kit, water bottle, pack lunch box, latest this, that and the other. Whatever it is they're after. And you're like, oh my God, it doesn't stop. And then there's the issue over school dinners. Are you going to be paying for school dinners? How are you going to pay for it? And I don't mean that what system they have. I mean, where's the money going to come from? Are you going to put them on pack lunches? My kids were on pack lunches for a while because they didn't like school dinners. And the school where my youngest was at, they were like the Stasi. They were investigating the kids' pack lunch, and they'd moan at parents if they didn't think that their pack lunch was suitable. They were literally like the Stasi. So judgmental. And talking of judgment, wherever you go as a single mum, you will be judged. But there's no mention of the dad. It takes 2 to make a baby, but men get a free pass. They don't judge them for being a sucky parent, and they don't judge them for being an absent parent. They blame the single mum, but they're the ones who stayed. They're the one who does all the running around, doing the emotional and financial care, putting a roof over their heads, feeding them, caring for them, loving them. Whereas the dads get a free pass. That's not right, really, is it? Society has conditioned us to make the woman out to be the bad guy. But as they say in America, which I think is a good phrase, what about the deadbeat dads? Dads who don't pay anything. Dads who don't contribute anything. And I don't mean just money, anything as in presents, gift,